fact that one, it's never really been done in a movie before, and two, the villain will be connected to Bruce Wayne's history and life. That really only leaves us with a couple of options. And I'm gonna be going from most likely to least likely. And a lot of what he said sounds like Hush. It just makes a whole lot of sense, especially since Hush was already teased in the Batman. He mentioned a hush money deal that Bruce Wayne's father agreed to in the murder of a reporter with the last name Elliot. So they can easily make that a connection to Thomas Elliot, who is Hush. Now, I know the main reason that most people don't want to see Hush is because he's gonna feel really familiar to Riddler from the first movie. And in general, he is a little bit overrated, if I could be honest with you. But remember, ladies and gentlemen, this is an adaptation. He's not gonna do a one-to-one, if he really is even doing Hush in the first place. But I could trust Matt Reeves and Matt Tomlin to adapt Hush in an incredibly new and refreshing way that also challenges both Bruce Wayne and Batman. Because the Batman Part 2 really should just be dissecting who Bruce Wayne really is underneath that mask. Because another character that came to my mind was the Phantasm, which, as we know, did technically release in a film that released in theaters. So maybe that's what he means by hasn't really showed up in a movie. Maybe they just straight up do Phantasm, and we just get like a pseudo Mask of the Phantasm adaptation for the Batman Part 2, which I think will be fucking fire. Or they could probably take elements of Mask of the Phantasm for Hush. Another likely option is the Court of Owls. Again, depending on how they adapt it, it won't feel too similar to what they did with the Batman, and who's really running Gotham, as we all thought it was Carmine Falcone. Matt Reeves has hinted that this goes even deeper, so look no further than the Court of Owls, who, mind you, have been teased multiple times, and most recently in The Penguin. The courthouse that Oz pulls up to has these very interesting silhouettes that look like what? Owls. And also the fact that we know in the Batman universe, the Waynes and the Arkhams are who technically built Gotham. You just know the Court of Owls has something to say in between those two families. So that could be your personal connection right there. I mean, dog, could you imagine what Matt Reeves does with Talon, the lead assassin of the Court of Owls? Those fight scenes would go stupid. But another option that I could see them adapting is actually Hugo Strange. Considering the fact that he's so heavily tied to Arkham Asylum, perhaps he has something to do with the fact that Martha Wayne, Bruce Wayne's mom, was in and out of Arkham. And maybe he was the one who drove her crazy in the first place. But if you really want to explore the different masks of both Bruce Wayne and Batman, struggling with his trauma and his own mental health, look no further than Hugo Strange as a perfect antagonist to all of that. Honestly, wouldn't even be surprised if we see multiple main villains, not just one. But regardless of who the main villain is, I just know Matt Reeves and Matt Tomlin cook.